The ERi-TV news broadcast crew and I, Delit Sahai, are now ready for your daily news briefing at 10:30 local time. But first, let us catch up with the major headlines. Seminar held in connection with International Workers' Day in Northern West region. Role of civil youth workers in the national development programs. Violation threats blockade made obstacle to genuine talks, said President Pezeshkian. And Niger says it suspended nearly 3,000 NGOs in 2025. Proceeding with our reports. The National Confederation of Eritrean Workers branch in Northern Rescue Region conducted a seminar for workers in the port city of Massawa on 21st April in connection with May Day, International Workers' Day. The seminar, which was conducted by Mr. Idris Ali, head of the political affairs of PFDJ in the region, focused on the history of Eritrean workers' movement during colonialism, as well as the role and influence of workers' organization in political and armed struggle for independence. Noting that strengthening organization has significant contribution in boosting productivity and enhancing the political awareness of individuals and society, Mr. Idris called for active participation. The participants, on their part, called for continuity of the seminar and for the preparation of promotional papers on current issues with a view to enhance the political awareness of workers. At an activity assessment meeting conducted by the Civil Youth Workers Organization in Tessane Subzone, Mr. Meles Gabrai, head of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students in the Subzone, reported that organization has demonstrated commendable participation in the implementation of the development programs. Mr. Meles said that over the past 3 years, the Youth Workers Organization has carried out commendable activities in culture, sports, political and development programs. The head of the Youth Workers Organization provided activity reports outlining the achievements registered and the challenges encountered. According to reports presented, various activities have been carried out, including youth-focused training program, sports competitions, sports to disadvantaged citizens, and popular campaigns, among others. Mr. Abdulhamid Ismail, head of the PFDJ in the subzone, expressed his conviction to stand alongside the union branch in all its endeavors. Mr. Sium Gabrielsus, administrator of the subzone, commended the efforts for the Civil Youth Workers Organization transferring the noble culture, history, and value of Eritrean people to the young generation and called for sustainability of the effort. At the event, 11 members of executive committee was elected. Eritrean communities in Switzerland, Sweden, and the US and Qatar has conducted various activities focusing on their attachment to their homeland. Accordingly, nationals residing in Swiss cities of Basel, Lugano, Lausanne and Geneva conducted a seminar aimed at strengthening their role and contribution in the national resilience and development programs. At the seminar, Mr. Ismail Mohamed Noor, head of the public and community affairs at the Eritrean Embassy, gave an extensive briefing on the development programs based on self-reliance with the view to expanding social service provision institutions and ensuring economic independence. Mr. Ismail called on nationals to strengthen their organizational capacity and unity and become part of the overall national development programs and commended their contribution to the successful implementation of our ordered boarding school. Commending the efforts being exerted to facilitate timely and effective consular services, the participants called for the continuity of the seminar. In the same vein, Mr. Mohammed Ali Mohammed Saeed, chargé d'affaires at the Eritrean Embassy in the Scandinavian countries, conducted a seminar for nationals residing in Umma, Sweden. And Mr. Mohammed Ali said that the main objective of the fourth front is to strengthen Eritrean community and their participation in the national development programs and called for reinforced participation by all. The participants noted that the measures introduced to provide timely and effective consular services have brought evident solution and commended the contribution that the city committee are making to address the challenge observed in the process. Likewise, the National Committee of Eritreans in Midwest of the U.S. conducted its annual conference on 18th April in Chicago. The conference, which was attended by representatives from 13 cities in the U.S., reviewed the implementation of 2025 programs and discussed programs for 2026. At the event, Mr. Burhana Gabriel, chargé d'affaires at the Eritrean Embassy, provided an extensive briefing on the 3 political actions of PFDJ. Nationals in Doha, Qatar also commemorated International Women's Day 18th March under the theme Our Cohesion, Our Armor, featuring various programs depicting the day. At the program, which was organized on 17 April, Mr. Ali Ibrahim, Eritrea's ambassador to Qatar and chairperson of the National Union of Eritrean Women, gave an extensive briefing on the role and contribution of Eritrean women in realizing national independence, safeguarding national sovereignty, and advancing national development programs. Straight ahead is our international news after a short break. Welcome back. The Islamic Republic of Iran has invariably welcomed dialogue and agreement, but Washington constantly breach of the commitments, naval blockade, and military threats remain the obstacle to genuine negotiations, President Mossad Pezeshkian said on Wednesday. In a post on X, President reiterated Tehran's openness to diplomacy while calling out Washington's contradictory behavior. The United States and Israel launched their war on aggression against Iran on February 28, assassinating leaders of the Islamic Revolution, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei, and striking military installations and civilian infrastructure, including schools, hospitals, and bridges. Since then, Iran demonstrated its responsible approach by agreeing to a 2-week ceasefire brokered by Pakistan, despite having upper hand on the battlefield after 100 waves of decisive retaliatory strikes under the Operation True Promise 4. Despite the ceasefire, Washington keeps heightening a naval blockade of Iran ports, and Tehran considers it illegal under international law and clear violation of the truce. The United States has also threatened further military action, while its officials have issued contradictory statements about their commitment to diplomacy. Iranian officials have said no decision has been made yet whether to take parts of the second round of negotiation in Islamabad, citing U.S. violation of the ceasefire, including naval blockade. Now let's report. Military government suspended an activities of 2,900 of the 4,700 registered local and foreign non-governmental organizations and development agencies in Interior Ministry said. The junta, led by General Abdurrahman Titani, since July 2023 has made national sovereignty one of its priorities and has its neighbors and allies Burkina Faso, which is also military run. Last week, Burkina Faso authorities dissolved more than 100 NGOs and associations, many of them involved in defense of human rights, and banned them from operating. In Niger, the military regularly accused NGOs of lacking transparency and supporting terrorist armed groups that are destabilizing several parts of the country. Last year, authorities banned several local and international NGOs from operating and criticizing them of failing publishing their 2024 financial statement on time, the official Gazette said. We had 4,000 NGOs today, but we have 1,800, General Mohamed Tumba announced on state television on Tuesday evening. More than 330 international NGOs were registered in Niger, but the number of those affected by the suspension was not specified. And Tomba explained that the suspension of the part are to clean up, and clear missions have been assigned to NGOs, which must now align themselves with national development priorities, and NGOs in association raised more than $448 million in 2024, according to official figures. Burkina Faso, which is a partner with Niger and Mali in the Alliance of the Sahel State, last year adopted a law that subjects association to strict administrative obligations. Dear viewers, we've come to the end of tonight's news. Let's have a quick recap of the headlines. Seminar held in connection with International Workers' Day in Northern Brazil region. Role of civil youth workers in the national development programs. Violation threats blockade a main obstacle to genuine talks, President Pezeshkian said. Niger says it suspended nearly 3,000 NGOs in 2025. That was the news from ERi-TV studios. This has been the Let's High reporting. Thanks for watching and have a good night.